It's now time for SME on Point. This week we feature the story of an entrepreneur who epitomizes resilience. Pfadzani Mphanama's first attempt at business was not so successful, but she did not give up. She chose to get back on her feet and give entrepreneurship yet another shot. The story of Exodus Factories is one that gives many other businesses a chance to design their own stories. This is their story. It is edited by Mangoba Nkosi. Pfadzani Mphanama's story started when she lost her job back in 2006, and because she had always loved fashion, her natural step forward was to pursue fashion designing, opening up her own store. A question to a random stranger on the streets of Johannesburg for leads about who could help her start this business eventually led her to opening up her first store in Rosebank. But with little knowledge about running a business, mistakes happened and the business failed.
I opened my first store at the zone in Rosebank, Exodus by Huyu House then. The store never lasted. It lasted for 8 months and it closed down. Because it was my first business. I didn't know much of what I was doing. The funds, I remember there was funds that I was supposed to have done stock with it, and then I printed paper bags. When I told my consultant at NEF that I used the money to do this, she didn't understand. She says, why did you do that? You should have waited for the business to make profit, and you can use that money to build, to make paper bags. Right now you need money for stock.
From there, lifelong lessons were learned.
Use money for what it's allocated for. That's one thing I made a mistake. If they say, if you and your funder sit together and said use money this way, don't take that money and think you will and use it other way around and think you will recover it, because you won't recover it. And that is one of my mistakes. And stock, if you're running a business, especially a retail business, clothing, have enough stock so that you give your customers choices. And I didn't have enough stock. Customers would come and still find the same stock that was there before. And this is where customers who were supporting me, they wouldn't find new stock, so that would turn them off and they wouldn't come back.
And now it was back to the drawing board. Armed with a new funder, knowledge of the industry, it was all systems go. Mphanama bought this factory business and its staff. She now produces fashion ranges specializing in belts and pleating for many well-known designers like Joe Bouquet and other online startups.
We've got our clients, good clients, any color, both young black people, young white people who sell online. They've got stores online. They are doing quite well. They want to start their own brands.
Although business is taking strain from the impact of COVID-19, she's committed to keeping her doors open. Mphanama says bowing to the pandemic pressure means shattered dreams of other small businesses who rely on hers.
They are young, aspiring people. If I close down those people's dreams. I close down those people's income. This is all we have. This is all we have.
Liabo Setho, SABC News, Johannesburg. Thank you so much to Pfadzani for sharing her story with SME on Point, and you will be able to find a link of SME on Point on our Facebook page, which is at SME on Point. Our next featured business of the week has found a way to ease how small businesses and consumers buy airtime and electricity. AfriNova Digital has developed digiToken exactly for this purpose. This is an online platform that will also help users to avoid leaving the house unnecessarily or having to queue at malls and banks and shops. And for more on this, we are joined by the co-founder of AfriNova Digital, Xolisa Vuza. Xolisa, thank you so much for joining us on SME on Point.
Good afternoon to you and to your viewers. Thank you very much for having us.
You're welcome, Xolisa. Just tell us about digiToken and AfriNova. What kind of a business are you? What do you offer?
Thank you for that. I think the first part I'll start with is a description or explanation of what AfriNova is about. So AfriNova is a business that focuses on building digital products and is part of a group, company called Ashanti Digital Group. And essentially what we do is build a bunch of digital products that are aimed at solving day-to-day challenges. And digiToken is just one of the many products I mean, to talk about digiToken just a little bit, so it's an online platform, like you mentioned earlier, that allows various consumers to be able to purchase a variety of prepaid products. And at the moment, we've got electricity and water, airtime and data coming live on the platform. But we're looking at building, more services as a rollout in terms of the next phase of our development on the product. And the reason we've done this...
I'm sorry about that. Let's talk about its particular use, particularly at this time where people are discouraged from going outside unnecessarily. Have you found that it's really indeed helping people to purchase airtime and electricity and water, as you say, particularly at this time? I found it quite useful for this purpose especially.
I think that's a very good question. Just jumping into it, the reason we've done it, this way, that you can actually make use of it, on the mobile device, is to allow for that convenience where you're able to use the product straight out of your phone, really, out of your pocket. And this really helps if you look at the situation that we're faced with in the country in terms of COVID-19. But also it helps in terms of creating opportunities for the masses of our people, if you look at the unemployment challenge that we're facing. So if you look at our model, really, our model supports two sides of the business. The consumer side, where the person can use the app to actually purchase the products directly for themselves. But also we've got the business side, where we've got what we call agents, super agents, and sub-agents. And these are all people that can have an opportunity to start their own businesses using the platform. And by that we mean, selling and sharing really the revenue that comes out of selling those products. And this really caps the challenge that we have in terms of unemployment in the country. So from that perspective, especially at this time in our country, where our youth is facing a big challenge around, getting employment opportunities, but also with the COVID situation that we face, as a country. So we think that is quite a useful platform, to roll out at this point in time.
Let's talk about how I'm seeing more entrepreneurs coming up with a lot of apps. In fact, just last week, we did feature another business that has come up with an app. Do you think this is the way that life is moving, given how our lives have changed so much since, COVID has hit our shores?
Yes, thank you very much. I think if you look at the trends, the world is going digital. A lot of the physical services or things that used to be done by going to the shop or even visiting the mall, coming out of your house, those things are coming to your phone now. And apps are being developed across a variety of, domains, be it restaurants, retail, and a variety of services. Because this is really just, the way, the trends are going at the moment. So this makes a lot of sense. And you'll start seeing a lot of products and services that are being developed and exposed in the form of apps where people can do things, in their own comfort. I think for us, if I can just talk about our product, what we've done is we've realized that we've got the masses of our people that are excluded from accessing these services because they're not necessarily banked, And if you look at what we've done with what we call a digi-wallet in our app, it really allows you to deposit money and to be able to access all these services, as you can see on our screenshots, where you can buy these services really from the comfort of your own home. But also, like I said earlier, it allows you to extend the same services and make extra money, for yourself by accessing the same app that we've developed.
I know that, Xolisa, after this, I'm going to get a lot of inquiries about that particular aspect of how one can start their own business or make extra income using a digiToken. If you could just briefly give us what steps that our viewers or aspiring business people can take in order to take advantage of them having extra income or starting their own business.
Thank you very much for that question. So the way you register as an agent on our app is quite simple. You basically download the app and you sign up as an agent, and there's pieces of information that we need, and you will see that on the form. And that information then comes through to us, and based on the criteria that we apply, we basically sign you up as an agent, and you can start transacting
as soon as possible. Xolisa, yeah, I'm very sorry to cut you there, but we do seem to be running out of time, and I'm being told that it's time to go. But thank you for your time. It's really been great speaking to you on SME On Point. All right, that was SME on Point for this week. After the break, Anastasia Arendse has Books on Point.